Good morning, everyone. We'll just wait for a little bit so other people can join in and get started in a minute or so. Should we get started? Well, good morning, everyone. Happy April Fool's Day, and welcome to the April 2021 partnership meeting. Only one of the most important subjects we have, that's education of our youth and the future of our world and country. So I'm Buzz Coble, CEO of Coble & Company, and one of the founders and current board members of Denver South. We're pleased you could join us today and chat with the leaders from 3 of the state's four-year universities about their engagement with the industry, how they have been impacted by the pandemic, and what the plans are for the future. Once they are done, Chris Shepard and Becky Nelson of our economic development team will jump in and moderate a little Q&A. I want to thank Pamela, Ann, and Sharon for participating in this morning's meeting, and appreciate that they have agreed to share their presentations with our audience. If you have a question, please type it into the chat box and we'll make sure to answer it either during the call or afterward. So without further ado, I'm happy to introduce this morning's speakers, but I will preface it by saying, if I read the full bio of all of these 3 distinguished women, we wouldn't have time for their presentation. So I'll try and cut it a little shorter. So our first speaker is Pamela Toney. Pam is only the 2nd president of Colorado State University Global Campus. Pam joined CSU Global in 2013 after spending time at Colorado Technical University in senior leadership positions. She holds a bachelor's in psychology from Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, a master of psychology from Walden University, a master of business administration from Colorado Technical University, along with a graduate certificate in cybersecurity from CSU Global. All right, I'm out of breath. Pam, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Buzz. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and share my screen. It's an honor to be here today with all of you to really help you understand a little bit more about what CSU Global does, and more importantly, how we can help industry and help your organizations from an educational perspective. So CSU Global was founded in 2007 with a mission to advance student success, specifically for non-traditional adult learners, helping them complete their bachelor's degrees or earn their master's degrees for that next promotion along the way. We've come a long way since 2007, and we serve over 19,000 active students across the United States and the world. We've also helped close to 20,000 students earn their credential. And as our population has grown, we've really focused in on growing the portfolio of programs that we offer as well. We have not as many programs as a lot of the universities around, and this is very intentional because we're really focused on offering bachelor's, master's, and certificate programs that are designed to connect students specifically with career and job outcomes. We're really focused on industry needs and making sure that students have the learning outcomes and the skills that they would need to be successful in their jobs. Our focus on students is really about a high quality learning experience. It's more than just the content. It's really making sure that they have that engagement in the classroom with faculty, as well as making sure they have the right support services that are offered to them 24/7. Online is all we do. So all of our services and support is really focused on that and making sure we can meet students where they're at and when they're at. So when they're online at 2 in the morning trying to finish up their paper, they have access to a tutor or a writing center, that type of thing. We're also really focused on student success, and it's about helping them get that next level. So we do really focus on stackable credits, alternative credit options. We're always looking at ways that we can transfer in prior learning opportunities, credit from other institutions, as well as training programs from different organizations. We have dedicated student success support to help them really navigate not just the academic side of pieces, but also connecting them with their career coaching and making sure that they're really prepared when they finish their degree. We're also really focused on being affordable for students. We have not increased our undergraduate tuition rate since 2008. And I think we had a slight increase in 2011 for graduate students, but we're still really affordable for students so that they can really focus on what matters, which is getting that education and not trying to figure out how they have to pay for it once they get done with it. When we talk about what's happening in our classroom, we want to bring that engaged, innovative experience for our students. And our courses are really designed for online learning experience based on industry relevancy. And so we really focus on building in collaboration with the industry partners. So each of the program directors do run program advisory boards where we collect feedback from our industry partners on what they're seeing, what they need, how can we really improve these programs, how can we build programs for the future for them. We also ensure that our faculty have professional experience. We look for 10 plus years and most of our faculty is what we have right now, along with their academic credentials. So they can bring that experience into the classroom and really guide students on how they can apply the information. And we are focused on practical application of learning within the classroom, making sure that projects are relevant. One of our admissions criteria, which I think is unique, is that we do require at least 2 years of work experience, even from our freshman students. And that helps them to really be able to apply what they're learning in the classroom to either previous experiences or bring those into the classroom, as well as being able to apply that learning immediately in their workplace. One of the big questions in higher education is always about the return on investment. And there's a significant return on investment for our students, but we also see that significant return for our employers. As you can see here from this chart, we did some research and we're constantly doing assessment and data collection to make sure that we are on track with where we need to be. And at the end, once students graduate from us and they go to work in new fields and new careers, we do survey both students and their faculty, or students and their employers, to find out how are we matching up. We're definitely focused on the content areas, but as everybody knows, the soft skill sets are really important. So we do measure how are they able to improve their skills in working with teams, critical thinking, written and oral communication skills, those skills that really round out an employee and help them be more effective in applying the content that they have. We also, like I mentioned, had over 20,000 students that have graduated from us, and we have approximately 40% of our alumni still work and live in Colorado after graduation. We're really connected in the Denver area as well as in Aurora and building those partnerships to help support organizations. This is really important for us because we want to make sure that the purpose of what we do is to help prepare students for success, and our students are only as successful as the employers that they go to work for. So building those industry connections are really critical and important for us. Finally, I think it's important to talk about how we can and how we do partner with our organizations and employers. And this is really exciting for us. We're really developing out this area. We have a new program or division of CSU Global now, which is called Direct Path Education. And Direct Path Education is really focused on bringing short-term courses or programs that are more skills-based and getting them into programs that will help them get the skills that they need right now to either upskill and move into a different position or to be able to change careers. With the launch of that, we started with a few IT programs, and we're looking to evolve that over time and really connecting with different organizations and partners to figure out what it is that you all need that we could actually put on here. So it's not the degree, and some students don't need the full degree right now, but we always build those with the intention of allowing those to be stackable into our programs at a later time when they do want to move forward with those degrees. We also offer the customized programs for different affiliates and organizations. So if there's specific skills that you want to add on to, say, computer science, and you want to have a focus on management as well, we can build out and combine different programs and courses to build out more customized specializations or certificates of completions for organizations, which is really extremely helpful when you want to send your employees through, you know that they're coming out with the skills that you really need that are in demand for your specific organization. And then finally, we offer affiliate programs, which is really helping employers connect their employees with the degrees and programs at CSU Global in a way that fits for our students as well as employers. And under that program, we really focus on if there are any prior learning organizational training programs that you've provided or that they've gone through in the past, we look at evaluating those for transfer credit, which helps save time and money for students. We can coordinate tuition assistance and reimbursement benefits to make that a seamless process for the organization. And then also we can connect job postings and job listings to our career center so that our students actually have access to any open positions with organizations. With that, that is the end of my presentation today, but I hope to get some questions from you when we get to the Q&A. I'm going to turn it back over to Buzz.
Somebody's got a, there we go. Well, Pam, thank you. Very informative information, and it's wonderful to see a way of staying up with this rapidly changing digital world. So now it's my honor to introduce Dr. Ann Murphy. She's the Dean of the Metro State University Denver School of Business. Dr. Murphy joined the business school in 2007 and was a professor in the school for 11 years prior. Before entering academia, Ann served in a variety of accounting positions in the private sector. She holds a BS degree in accounting and computer science from Boston College, an MBA from the University of Nevada, and a PhD from the University of Arkansas. Welcome, Ann.
Thank you very much. Appreciate being here. Hold on one second. And I hope I am sharing my screen now with everybody. Good morning, and again, thank you to Denver South for inviting all of us to speak with you today and tell us about our programs. As Buzz said, I'm Ann Murphy. I'm Dean of the College of Business at MSU Denver. What I'd like to go over today quickly is tell you a little bit about MSU Denver and our students, deep dive into the College of Business programs, and then focus on how we're addressing workforce needs, engaging with the community, and a little bit about what we see for the future of higher education. MSU Denver was chartered as a regional comprehensive serving the 7-county area. We're modified open admissions. We're located right downtown and on the Auraria campus that we share with the University of Colorado Denver and the Community College of Denver. It's a very unique setup that we have, and we can leverage the resources to provide students with the top technology in the classrooms. We are primarily an undergraduate degree institution with 95 undergraduate degrees. We've been offering graduate degrees a little over 10 years, maybe 11 years now. We have 8 graduate degrees. About 6% of our students are graduate students. That's about 1,000 students. We offer a number of certificate programs. As I mentioned, we're chartered to serve the 7-county area. And so, and we're chartered to really service Colorado. So the university student population is about 98% from Colorado. And as you can see there from Arapahoe, Denver, and the 7-county area, we draw a large percent of our students. Douglas County is about 8% of our students. It's about 11% of the state's population. The 7-county area is about 55% of the state's population. So we really are drawing from the majority of the state of Colorado. And just like these counties, our students are very diverse, which you would expect based on the population that we're here to serve. So at the university level, about 48% of our students are people of color. In the College of Business, 51% of our students are people of color. So comparing that to Colorado, we're quite a bit higher, but when you look at the demographics for Arapahoe County, for Denver, and then specifically for Adams County, where we pull about 13% of our students from Adams County. Adams County is one of the most diverse counties in the state, with about 51% of the people of color, 41% are Hispanic. So with Adams County added in here, we're really serving quite a large diverse population. Colleges of business are not typically known for having a large population of female students, but we are working on that and trying to develop programs to help interest more women in business. The university does well with drawing women. We do serve a population, a veterans population that is very similar to the state of Colorado. A lot of students are Pell eligible. And when you break that down, 47% of our students of color are Pell eligible. First generation students, so we have provide a lot of services and support to first generation students. And then typically they stay in Colorado. 96% of the students in the College of Business do stay in Colorado within their first at least 4 to 5 years. The College of Business addresses many workforce needs. When you look at the programs we offer a full slate of programs that you would expect from a College of Business or accounting. Our banking program is new. We're just in our second year of a banking program. We developed that in collaboration with industry. The Colorado Bankers Association came to us and said they were looking for compliance and IT support. And so we worked with them to develop our banking degree program that has an emphasis in compliance. And then our business intelligence degree launched just this year. We have an economics entrepreneurship program. Other things that are in development is we will launch our Bachelor of Arts in Professional Sales this coming fall. We've had a minor in sales for a number of years and a certificate in sales a number of years, and we're creating a degree around that. We are in the process of moving it through our internal processes to start launching our real estate degree. That will have a focus on property management, on appraisal and title, or students can concentrate in asset management and investments. Through our individualized degree program, which is a unique program that lets students tailor make their degrees and sort of put together programs that fit their unique needs. We are right now launching a human resource management and then a business administration. As I mentioned, MSU has a number of graduate programs. We have a program in professional accountancy, which is about 11 years old. Our MBA program just finished up its 4th year. And then we're launching a graduate certificate in business analytics. So I think you can see from this that we meet your workforce skills gap from the February report on the Arapahoe and Denver Workforce Council. 3 of our degrees meet the top 10 programs that were identified as having skills gaps, that being management, business and financial operations, and sales. Our Pillars of Excellence for the College of Business, we're very proud to be accredited by AACSB, which is the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business. Globally, only 5% of the business programs are accredited by AACSB. Our Center for Professional Selling is one of only 53 nationally in the University Sales Center Alliance. And the Sales Education Foundation has, for a number of years now, listed our program as one of the top sales universities in the country. Our Computer Information Systems program is one of only a dozen that are accredited by both ABET and AACSB. And our business intelligence degree program will enter the process to fall under our AED accreditation here, hopefully this fall. Our finance program is certified by the Certified Financial Planners Board, and our internal audit program is recognized by the Institute for Internal Auditors, and our HR concentration, which will soon be a degree, is certified by the Society for Human Resources. I mention all of these because we really have a focus on quality and striving to provide students with programs that align with their professional career goals. So by aligning with these professional organizations, we can provide our students with professional experience as they're going through their program. Additionally, to meet workforce needs at the university level, the College of Business is engaged in a number of interdisciplinary programs. We're part of a 3-college combined cybersecurity program that combines our criminal justice, our computer science, and our computer information systems degrees to create a cybersecurity program at both the undergraduate and graduate level. We have a health information systems undergraduate program that our information systems and healthcare management program have collaborated on, and a construction project management, which is a combined degree with our engineering program and our management or information systems concentrations. Other areas that meet the workforce needs of the Arapahoe and Douglas area are the health sciences programs out of our College of Health and Sciences, computer math and engineering, healthcare, and then we have a master's and undergraduate degree in social work. So I think you'll see when you look at the skills gap, MSU Denver is ready to help serve and meet those gaps. We also focus very much on engaging with the communities and making sure that our students have been able to participate in high impact practices, which puts them in a professional setting and lets them practice and apply the theory that they're learning in the classroom. 73% of our students have indicated that they've participated in a high impact practice, and 40% have indicated that they've participated in 2 or more. So directly in high impact practices, a direct high impact practice would be to be able to provide our students opportunities for internships. Indirect, they work on a student project, they engage through a course and work on a project for a company. One of the programs we've had for quite a long time now, I think almost 12 years, is our accounting students in the internal audit course do the operations audit for the university. And it's great when they have to sit in front or stand in front of our board of trustees and present the findings of their audit. It's always my favorite board of trustees day when our accounting students are presenting the internal audit project. We have a course that works with the Denver Small Business Development Center doing SWOT analysis. Our marketing courses have created marketing plans for companies, most recently working with our multicultural marketing class, working with Denver Health. I think our marketing students, when marijuana first became legal, they did a project in a branding for the Colorado Department of Transportation, promoting a, do not drive under the influence program. So a lot of opportunities for students to engage with businesses. Also addressing workforce needs, again, our students, about 4% of them participate in internships, but about 81% of our seniors also indicate that they work during the semester and have worked in various positions. So some of our key Denver South internships are listed there. I won't read through all of them, but we cover a vast range of disciplines and areas to support any business needs. The collaborations, we're always thrilled to work with Charles Schwab, has always come up. They do a workforce readiness program for our students. Arrow Electronics, we have our students participate in their diversity days. Lockheed Martin and Centura Health are also very strong partners with the university and the College of Business that are situated in South Denver. And then our construction management program is very unique in that we accept credits for prior learning through the general contractors program, and students are able to get through their program that much faster and apply what they've learned already. take a minute here to talk a little bit about our Office for Innovative and Lifelong Learning. This is a university office that really connects the university to the businesses in the community. This past year with the pandemic and a lot of people out of the jobs, they launched their Skills Lab, which was free short courses to help reskill or upskill unemployed individuals. And as you can see there, they helped almost over 1,000 students with over 8,000 course registrations. They're available and I can help connect you to them to really work with you at an individual level to see what type of workforce needs internally you might want to have. And so our director of the Innovative and Lifelong Learning is really interested in getting connected to you. And she really would love an opportunity to find out how MSU Denver can better understand your needs and build programs around those needs. A little bit about the future of education and what we're seeing over this past year. MSU Denver, as I said, we're located on the Auraria campus, but we're also starting discussions on being able to help meet you where you are and offer courses in your place. RK Mechanical is one of the companies that they've worked through the Innovative and Lifelong Learning, and we're offering courses at their workplace. We're expanding the number of online programs that are available. Right now, 4 of our 12 undergraduate degree programs are available fully online, and we're continuing to offer more of those and launching about 2 or 3 over the next few years. We're going to continue to offer synchronous classes. One thing we had actually done before the pandemic hit is we had put the technology into about 4 of our classrooms so that students could, and we did this primarily for our MBA students because many tech center students didn't want to have to drive up to Denver to attend our MBA classes. So we provided the technology for them to have, there's an in-class class, and then students connect through the internet, through Zoom, and are still able to participate in a live class. This saves down significantly on travel time. If you try to get up to downtown Denver for a 5:30 class from the tech center, you can save easily 45 minutes to an hour in the same going home. So the accessibility with our synchronous courses, we're going to continue to offer them and see what the demand is. And then this semester, we're also started piloting a self-paced program for our graduate certificate in business analytics. So if you want to crank through those 4 courses in 4 weeks, you're able to do that. It's whatever pace you want. Or if you want to take a year and a half, then you can do that as well. We've really started engaging with high schools and the high school business programs, recognizing the concurrent enrollments and the learning that takes place at the high school level. Another example of prior learning credits is a unique partnership with Mikasa Community College of Aurora and MSU. And Mikasa Resource Center has a program to help their clients learn customer service and works with the banks for service industries and places their clients with a bank. The Community College of Aurora provides those students an opportunity to get credit for prior learning, and those fit into their certificates for financial services. And then those 30 credits in the certificates for financial services fits into our MBA, our banking program. It's very unique. We received a grant from the Alumni Foundation that has really helped us launch this program, and we're thrilled with that. We're looking at other apprenticeship type models. We're in the process of working with CareerWise that has a very robust apprenticeship model developed with the high schools. And we've always worked very closely with Community College of Denver. As I mentioned, they share our campus. And that is the end of my program. I would like to also give you the contact information for our Classroom to Career Hub, as well as our, in addition to our Innovative and Lifelong Learning, our Classroom to Career Hub can actually help you connect with hiring our students, as well as setting up internship opportunities. And that's it for me. How do I stop sharing?
Great, Dr. Murphy. I sure appreciate that. And Warms my heart when I hear about the real estate and construction management programs. But I hope everybody listened very carefully to that classroom to hub program where you can connect. So people ought to pay attention to that. And you got a lot of resources and a lot of discipline. So thanks for that presentation. Also remind you, if you have a question, please feel free to put it in the chat box and we'll get to those in a bit. And so last, and I'll say certainly not least, as a buff, it's my honor to introduce Dr. Sharon Matusik is the Dean of the Leeds School of Business at the University of Colorado Boulder. Since 2004, Dr. Matusik has served the Boulder-based campus and held several positions within the Leeds School. Prior to CU, she was at the faculty at the Jones Graduate School of Management at Rice University and worked in the private sector consulting. She holds a PhD in strategic management from the University of Washington and a BA in economics and English from Colby College. And because I'm a buff and I've gotten to know Sharon very well, what you've heard in the last few presentations, she also embodies a forward-thinking new world about where we're headed and how we educate the kids and the youth for the future. And the best example is the thing I'm sure she'll talk about, it's business plus engineering connection physically, where it allows these two separate educational disciplines to physically collaborate across those lines, enhance innovation and entrepreneurship. Technology and applied learning will certainly set them apart. I've watched this evolve, and so it is my honor to introduce Dr. Sharon Matusik. Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you very much, Buzz. That was a wonderful introduction. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. And I just want to start out by saying that I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to be with you today. As Buzz alluded to, our connection to the community is incredibly important to us, and we really value the South Denver community in particular. So I'm happy to have the opportunity to talk a little bit about some highlights in terms of what's going on at the Leeds School, with special attention to some of the things we're doing in the South Denver area. And then similar to what Ann did, I'll preview a little bit of what we see in the future in terms of post-COVID as a lead into the discussion that we'll have when we wrap up the slides. So in terms of what makes the Leeds School special, we think it's our unique combination of academic excellence and access to the business community. And this is a theme that you did hear throughout all three presentations. I think that's a tremendous asset for our business community, that you're getting people that are coming through the educational system who not only are grounded in strong skills on the content knowledge side, but throughout their educational experiences have also had that opportunity to apply that knowledge, so they're better able to use that knowledge when they come into your organizations. So we all do that a little bit differently, and I'll talk a little bit about how Leeds does it, but I think that's a tremendous asset to our business community in general. On the academic excellence side at the Leeds School, we've focused on bringing in world-class faculty from some of the top institutions around the world: Harvard, Wharton, Stanford, Kellogg, London Business School. Our faculty are in the top 25 globally in terms of per capita academic research. That means they're putting their research in these very selective peer-reviewed journals. What I think is also especially noteworthy is not only are they publishing in these very top journals, but their research is being cited in top outlets like the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, The Economist. Why do you care about that as an employer? A couple of reasons. One, the students are getting that cutting edge knowledge before it ends up in the textbooks. So these people are really pushing the frontiers of knowledge creation. And then also, if you think about some of the skills we're trying to develop in our students, essentially we know the future is going to look different than today. And so what is research? It's solving problems that no one has solved before. So that research mindset that they bring into the classroom is important in terms of giving our students that exposure to and skills with solving problems that haven't been solved before. But it's that academic excellence combined with access to our dynamic business community that we think really differentiates lead school from some other business schools. We've got a very, very dynamic business and alumni community. The Leeds School of Business has over 42,000 alumni in 50 states and 72 countries. One of our big outcome metrics is placement within 3 months of graduation. We've been in that 90+% range for the last 6 years. With an asterisk for last year's COVID, we ended up at about 82%. Obviously, it was a very uncertain market. But that's something that we focus a lot of our energies around, is making sure that our students are launched successfully into their career when they finish up their time at the Leeds School. And in terms of how we engage the community, that's something that we do very methodically throughout the student experience at the Leeds School. We have a best-in-class mentorship program. Some of you on the call, I've noticed in terms of the names, are involved with that program. So we have one-on-one pair-ups between senior members of the business and alumni community and our students to help them as they navigate through their program at the Leeds School. And also our core curriculum is designed to include live problem solving and cases, and what we call the executive experience, where we're regularly bringing business leaders into the classroom. Just as one illustration of this, in our second year of the program, we have a course called BASE, Business Applied Semester Experience. And throughout that course, it's a 6 credit hour course. And what the students are doing is they're interacting with companies that come in and provide essentially live case studies. So one is an early stage company, growth stage company, mature multinational, and they're interacting with students by giving them live problems so they can take the skills that they've learned in the first part of the curriculum and apply that in a team environment and with consultation with our communications faculty to help them in terms of getting those skill sets in terms of solving real problems and challenges. We've had terrific momentum. We've seen a 35 increase in our undergrad applications this year. The size of our undergrad class has grown a little over 30% over the last 10 years. And the quality and diversity of each class continues to improve. Also worth noting is that the top minor on our Boulder campus is business. If you think about engineering, natural sciences, arts and humanities, the fact that those folks have the opportunity to add a business minor on top of their area of expertise is a nice complement that helps to launch them into careers where they can leverage their area of depth, but also come to the workplace with a basic understanding of business fundamentals. We've also seen tremendous growth in our graduate programs. Right now, we're tracking about 30% over where we were last year. And a big component of this is new ways to meet the demands of working professionals. One of the things that we're launching this year is an executive MBA that's designed for people that are either on their way to the C-suite or in the C-suite, but maybe don't have a full business background that they've gathered on their way there. And so this is a program that's a pretty unique delivery format where there's 3 one-week residency periods, either up in Boulder, sometimes up in our mountain communities. And then in between those sessions, there's technology delivered education. So this gives working professionals that flexibility to meet the demands of their careers and family demands, but at the same time, build out their skill set. So it's something that's emblematic of some of the different ways we're meeting the needs of working professionals in the community. Just a little bit of more information on our students and alumni. So in terms of our Leeds School alumni, about 52% live in Colorado. The vast majority of those folks in the greater Denver area. And we did the best thing we could to figure out who was specifically in South Denver. It looks like we've got about 9,000 of our alumni currently in the South Denver area. We have lots of different programs. What I tried to do here is highlight the ones that were most consistent with what we understand to be the high demand areas for those of you in the South Denver area. We have a lot of students who are interested in analytics types concentrations in our undergraduate programs. We've got a business and computer science integration that there's increasing student interest in. And then our campus, it's a very, very large campus with lots of different minors that are in technology areas. And I'll talk about our engineering students that focus on some business topics in a minute. But as you can see, we've got a lot of different areas that our business students can minor in. So there's a significant number of students who have that combination of business and engineering background. And similarly, on the graduate side, we've got quite a few students who are interested in our analytics program. And then we've recently redesigned our MBA core to have a very strong focus on analytics so that students are used to going from a problem to a solution using data. So that's how we've integrated that into our core curriculum. And that's helped tremendously in terms of making our students very fluent in using analytics to solve business challenges. All of this is in service to our mission. We want to positively transform the future of business globally and locally by inspiring and educating that next generation. You'll notice that one of the key pillars here is partnerships. And I emphasize that because we really value our engagement with the community, especially South Denver. We think that's really critical in terms of preparing the leaders of the future. But in terms of serving this mission, there's 3 areas in particular that we're focused on right now in terms of key initiatives. And I'll just talk through these quickly. So Buzz previewed this a little bit. We're incredibly proud of our partnership with the School of Engineering. So we just opened up a new building which physically connects our School of Business to our School of Engineering. We're incredibly excited about this because we think that this really symbolizes the future of higher education, the working together across disciplinary lines. Right in the center of the building is a big innovation and entrepreneurship hub space. And that really allows us to do much more experiential learning in the context of our coursework. So we've launched a number of different programmatic initiatives to capture that, that magic between business and engineering coming together. We've got a program called BTech Scholars that Dish has been very, very supportive of, that allows us to bring together a cohort of women who are interested in that intersection. And so that's been a really strong program in terms of providing them some support as they go through their educational experience here in Boulder, and also build out that cohort. So we think that's going to be a very powerful group of women. Hopefully they'll all be working in your organizations in the not too distant future. But a lot of other things that we've done to bring together thoughtfully those engineering students with the business students so that you have people that are fluent at that intersection. So a few minutes ago, I mentioned the different ways our business students can minor in technology fields. The converse is also true. So I talked about our business minor. It's the largest on campus with 2,000 students. And we've got a good component of engineering students in that, including computer scientists and aerospace engineers. So what this means is, you know, if you're bringing in that aerospace engineer and they've got a business minor, not only do they have that deep expertise in aerospace engineering, but they also have experience applying that knowledge in a business context. Our second key initiative is called End the Gap. You know, as Anne highlighted in her comments, many business schools have trouble getting much beyond about 1/3 women in their programs. So this has been an effort that we launched back in the beginning of 2017, and we've seen some really great gains. And the way that we're approaching this is we're trying to get more women interested in a business career in the first place. So we don't discriminate based on gender or anything like that in admissions. But this effort is aimed at getting in front of young women to open their eyes to the opportunity that a business education can provide. And so I use this to highlight our success on the undergrad level. We have a very similar initiative at the graduate level, and then some mirror programs to help different underrepresented groups who are interested in business. And then our third major initiative is called Career Impact. This initiative was based on a set of roundtables that we conducted with key business leaders and influencers locally and globally to say, what does the future look like in your sector? What does it take to lead in that sector? And so not so much what are you looking for someone who's just graduating from a degree program, but more broadly, what does it really take to lead the future in your sector? So we've used that to update all of our curricula. We've updated the undergrad program. We rolled out a new MBA core about 2 years ago. We just rolled out a new evening MBA core program. And we've got, I mentioned our new executive MBA program. So these programs include those insights that we received from many of you who are leaders in the community, along with research on globally and nationally what's important. So this helps us understand how to deliver these intellectual, personal, interpersonal, and experiential skills as a complement to the content knowledge that our students are learning in the classroom. Some things specific to South Denver. We are very proud of our regional partners, Aero, Dish, Charles Schwab, Plant Moran, Western Union, Lockheed Martin. Those are all organizations that we work with regularly in terms of not just recruiting, but also being in the classroom in front of our students, helping our students with live problems that they can work through. In terms of serving the needs of the working professionals in the South Denver area, we have a few things that are especially relevant given some of what we understand in terms of your needs. I mentioned our executive MBA program. Again, this allows working professionals to continue with their career while they get an executive MBA with a really cutting edge curriculum that we've just developed and rolled out. We also have a hybrid MBA. So that's a program where students can enroll in our MBA program, continue with their career, and they take classes about every other weekend as a complement to some technology delivered education during the off periods. And so what both of these programs allow people to do is get that flexibility that working professionals highly value by having some of the content delivered via technology, but then complement that with intensive in-person experiences. So you get both of those dimensions at the same time, that flexibility and that high touch experience. We also have a series of executive education programs that some of the folks in the South Denver community have taken advantage of. And then we're regularly looking at ways to help all of you in terms of access to knowledge that's going to be useful to you in your organization. So we have a webinar series. Rich Wabakin, who's on the call right now, has done many of these in terms of the economic outlook for the state and then regionally across the state of Colorado. We also have a number of these on different COVID-related topics. And then we have Leeds Power Breakfasts and Leeds Business Insights, where we bring one of our key faculty down to do a short talk on some of their research in areas that are particularly relevant for businesses in the area. So those are just some of the things that we're engaging in now to serve the needs of the South Denver community, but obviously are open to understanding more about what's most important to you so we can help with that. We'll post the slides afterwards, but there's lots of ways to get involved with Leeds if you have executive education needs, if you're interested in our programs for working professionals, if you want to hire our graduates or our undergraduates, or if you want to engage in industry partnerships, we have lots of avenues to connect with the Leeds School. And then this is just a segue to the discussion that we're going to have in just a minute. But when we look ahead in terms of what COVID means for business education from our perspective, what we think that is going to be really important is that there's going to be a strong demand for differentiated experiences as a complement to content knowledge. So one of the side effects of COVID is pretty much every university across the globe now has the skill set to deliver education via technology. What's going to differentiate programs like the University of Colorado Boulder, where we do have a focus on a residential component as a critical part of the educational experience, is making sure that that experiential piece is top-notch and helps differentiate us from the many different ways that people can access just the content knowledge alone. We also see increasing demand for flexibility and options for working professionals. That's one of the reasons that we created the executive MBA format that I discussed. Also a lot of short courses. You know, now that people are used to accessing knowledge via technology, they want that flexibility to do that and then also have some in-person experiences. And some of what we've learned is boy, technology is great for bringing in different kinds of leaders and broader perspectives into our classroom. You know, so if I ask you to speak in a class, you know, before if you wanted to speak at a class in Boulder, you have to drive up here, you'd have to get a parking pass, then you're in the classroom and drive back down to South Denver. That's a big commitment. But now with technology, we can bring in speakers from not only a broader regional area, but globally. And so that's something that we've been very focused on in terms of different ways to service our students by providing that broader perspective in the classroom and also creating more student support services in a way that's convenient for them. And in terms of community engagement, you know, some of the things that we see on the future is a demand for facilities that engage the people more broadly in the learning experience, as I mentioned, for residential campuses like ours. We need to do more than just deliver content knowledge. So making it easy for all of you to engage with us on campus is going to become increasingly important. For those of you in the real estate industry, Buzz, I'm thinking of you, obviously more flexible work arrangements when we think about our staff in particular, which is going to cause us to rethink how we use existing space. And then overall, greater cost pressures in higher education, we see as opening the doorway to more public-private partnerships in the future. And then designing facilities and programs to accommodate not just traditional full-time students, but also lifelong learning and the different kinds of skills that you need to help your rising executives as well as your typical employee. And I know these are questions that mirror what Anne and Pamela shared, but clearly we want to understand what's important to all of you in that South Denver community and to understand across our institutions how we can best meet those needs. So with that said, I'll stop sharing my screen and then turn it back to Chris, who I think is going to moderate the discussion.
You are right. Thank you, Dr. Matusik and Dr. Murphy and President Toney. Gosh, those were really great presentations. Thank you so much. We appreciate that you're going to share your presentations with our audience after the event. So everyone stay tuned to see those. Buzz, thank you so much for your time this morning and your leadership in the community. So it looks like we have a few questions in the chat box, but before we start, I did want to let everyone know that we did get a question ahead of time from one of our community partners. It was a question about how our four-year higher education institutions can help the K through 12 develop their entrepreneurship curricula. So we know that's a huge topic. It probably could take hours, if not days, to discuss that. So Denver South and our speakers have agreed to convene another roundtable with community partners to dive deeper into this question, and we want to be a service to our community partners for that. So I thought that was a great question, and we're looking forward to continued conversations on it. So we did not leave that much time for question and answer. The speaker presentations were so good, we wanted to make sure that they had some time to talk to you. But if you do have questions and we don't get to them, we will follow up with an email after the event. So I'll start with the following question, and then Becky can share questions that have come in through the chat room for our speakers. So you all addressed kind of the changes that you have been presented with the COVID pandemic. And I would imagine that each of you learned new lessons regarding what works and what doesn't work. And that it allowed you to explore and take advantage of opportunities that weren't on the horizon a year ago. So kind of looking into your crystal ball, what would you advise Denver South to consider as we look toward the future on how to partner with our four-year educational institutions? And anyone can jump in.
I guess I'll start. I would say, let us know what you need, right? So I think one of the themes that you saw across all of our institutions is we have a great commitment to partnering with the community in different kinds of ways. I think we are all interested in creating programs that meet the needs of the South Denver area. What we need from you is more guidance on, given what we're already doing, what do you see as the gaps and how can we work together to meet those gaps? I think one of the things that, of course, CSU Global's been doing this for much longer, but one of the things that, Metro State and CU Boulder have learned is, there are different ways to incorporate technology so that we can create programs that are a mix of flexible in terms of the workforce demands and or in person. So understanding what's most meaningful in terms of developing the skills in your workforce and helping us partner with you to create a delivery modality that works for you. I think we're all very interested in making sure we're meeting those needs.
Dr. Murphy, President Toney.
I totally echo what Sharon just said. And the technology is huge, and it can help us reach people in places that didn't make it made it more difficult. I actually had an email this morning from a student that's kind of mad that we don't have as many synchronous class offerings for the fall that we've had in the past. It's like, well, this was the first year, we did so many synchronous, but there are quite a few working adults that have just bought into that synchronous. So now I'm going to have to go look at our fall schedule again and make sure we have that flexibility. So one thing I would say to some of the Denver South employers is, think about flexible work hours for your employees as well that are working on their degree and working on their education. So say if we have a synchronous class at lunchtime, have a little flexibility, or they come a little late and work a little later. So that flexibility for our scheduling can also kind of help the flexibility of your workforce, where they don't have to commute. The technology is really going to cut down on, it's going to cut down on that transportation issue, which is going to really open up and make a lot of this more accessible. I think students really still like, it's not in person face-to-face, they still like the face-to-face, even if it's Zoom, is what we're finding from a lot of our students. So I think that's going to be huge. And I think it can open up a lot of opportunities for a lot of people that didn't have the time to drive for an evening class and things like that, but they can still attend almost immediately. You click at 5:30 and you're in class. So it's a great opportunity now.
Yeah, and I would just echo what Sharon had said also. I think it's understanding what your specific needs are and how we can help you with building out what it is that works for you and your employees. And it could be that you need a pipeline of students coming out of the school, coming into your new positions and the entry-level roles. Or it could be that professional development, and maybe there's just some skills or some new knowledge that they need to obtain in order to really help move your organization forward. And I think that that's a place where we're open to those conversations and figuring out how we can help support you and what those needs are.
Thank you. So I'm going to switch kind of topics for the next question. All of you have business classes, business degrees, a business school. I didn't hear that much about entrepreneurship. Denver South, part of our economic development strategy is to grow companies that we have here and encourage the entrepreneurs that are in the community. How would your organization work with those entrepreneurs or work with our startup community to help share your knowledge with our community?
Sure, I'll jump in real quick because I do have to jump off at 9. We have our Center for Entrepreneurship, which provides a lot of different outreach opportunities to the community. In particular, I'll talk about our Launch Denver program, which is an 8-week business planning development program that works with our faculty, and they do this offload, which is amazing to me. And they partnered originally with the Rotary clubs in the Denver area to supply this, and at the end of the 8 weeks, participants in the Launch Denver program are able to work with a mentor to help them continue to develop their business plan, get them ready to think about financing options and things like that. So that's just one opportunity through the College of Business at MSU Denver that is available. And as we've said before, we're open to hearing more about what you need in terms of that support, and we can tailor that to individuals. And then Launch Denver was done virtually this last year, and so we can consider continuing to do it in a virtual setting as well if that helps people out.
Great.
So we, in terms of our programs themselves, entrepreneurship is core. So all of our students that come through our program have some entrepreneurship. And as I mentioned, in our building, we've designed that new building space so it has an entrepreneurship center right at the hub to invite community members in to take advantage of our resources, work with our students. We have a number of programs that are specific to supporting the community. One is called Co-Venture Forward. So when COVID happened, our Entrepreneurship Center launched an outreach program to help entrepreneurs who were struggling to figure things out under COVID. We also have a program called Demystifying Entrepreneurship that we conduct in rural Colorado. So for those folks who might be on the Western Slopes or the Eastern Plains and they want to think about how do I get something started, we've got some outreach programs in that area. And then beyond that, Anyone who wants help with their business ideas, please let our Entrepreneurship Center know, because there's a lot of different ways that they can plug in, either by sharing those ideas with our students. We have a venture fund where we actually invest in ideas that our students think are good ideas. And so they negotiate the term sheet and it's part of a class. So there's lots of different ways to plug in. And so I would say reach out to our Entrepreneurship Center if there's help that you need specifically.
President Toney, CSU Global, what do you guys have with entrepreneurship?
So I think that's built into our curriculum and helping students understand it as they go through the different programs, especially within our business courses. But again, we're open to helping to build that out if that is a unique course or program. That is something that we're interested in supporting, and we can build into our direct path education programs that we're offering now.
Great. Well, unfortunately, we have to wrap up these questions. I think there's a lot of interest in our community with what you all are thinking about for the future and how we can work together. So I want to thank all three of you for your time this morning and your efforts on educating our workforce, current workforce, and the workforce of the future. We hope from Denver South that this will be the start of a continuing conversation between Denver South as an organization, Denver South as the community, and your organizations to explore ideas on what a stronger four-year educational institution presence might look like in the years to come. So thank you all who joined us this morning. We'll see everyone at Denver South's next partnership meeting on Thursday, June 3rd. And if anyone is a Rockies fan going to opening day, enjoy the beautiful weather and go Rockies. Have a great day.
Thank you.